You know, one thing that I'm tired about, man, is this whole boxing versus MMA thing, you know? Like, in my opinion, it can't be boxing versus MMA when you're in the mixed martial arts environment, you know? Y'all gotta bear with me, man. I had a couple shots of tequila, and I just wanted to get on here and make this statement, man. You can't say it's boxing versus MMA, man. Like I said, because you're in the mixed martial arts environment. When you're in mixed martial arts, you can have takedowns, ground and pound, kicks, all of the above, you know. And in boxing, all you can use is these right here. So it would be a foolish comparison to sit here and say that, okay, well, this is a straight up boxing versus MMA match. Well, if you want to be technical, everybody can have their opinion. You know, some people can like boxing better, some people can like MMA better. You know, me, tell you the truth, honestly, I like them both equally, man. I love a good fight regardless of what it is. I mean, there could be two schmoes fighting on the corner over a damn cigarette, and I'll stand and watch that shit, you know. So I don't really care if it's, you know, mixed martial arts or boxing, but some people do, you know. And if you want to be technical, a boxer would not be able to beat a mixed martial artist simply because the mixed martial artist has so many different variables that he can use to win, you know. He can, you know, submit you, he could take you down, he could, you know, knock you out with a kick, with a punch, with the knee, with the elbow. You know, in boxing, all of those things are illegal. Now, if you want to get into the argument of popularity, now then there's an argument you can make, you know, a justifiable argument. However, in that realm, I would still have to say that boxing wins, simply because boxing has been around since forever, you know. As far as like in the culture of America and Europe and things of that nature, you know, mixed martial arts is just really starting to get its footing really since 2006. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that mixed martial arts has just started coming around in 2006. No, it's been around since like the 90s, you know, if not earlier. But it's just started to hit the mainstream audience in about 2006, you know, 2005, 2006. So, you know, MMA loses that because it's not as popular as boxing, as far as that the OGs watch it, boxing, more than MMA. You know, I'm talking about your grandfathers, your uncles, your fathers. You know what I mean? They watch boxing because that's what they know. You know what I mean? That's a good old back in the day sport. Because I mean, I remember a time boxing used to come on like CBS, ABC, or what have you. You know, like I said before, in a couple of videos ago, the first fight I ever saw was Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard, and I believe that was on like ABC or something like that. You know, so boxing has been in mainstream America a lot longer than MMA. The corruption in boxing has brought boxing down a lot, and also the fact that you have fighters wanting to duck other fighters and not fight this guy, not fight that guy. That's why a lot of, you know, boxing has kind of fell from the graces, you know what I mean? Because there's nothing major. And like Emmanuel Stewart said during the Chad Dawson fight, you know, when he fought Pashal, which Chad Dawson totally bollocks that fight up. He should have stepped up. Is that in boxing, somebody has to start knocking people out, man. Somebody has to start knocking people off like Manny Pacquiao style, you know. And that's why, if you look at it, Manny Pacquiao is so popular, is because he just runs through these opponents. He doesn't give a shit about 12 rounds, even though, you know, it can go 12 rounds. You know what I mean? There's no problem with that. But in the most part, Manny's doing his thing to try to knock the other guy out, you know, or take him out of the fight. You don't get that a lot anymore in boxing. You know, you got guys trying to coast and, you know, do this and that. And that's where I feel that Chad Dawson kind of fucked up, because he didn't step up and try to take Pashal out, you know, until the last end of the fight. You know what I mean? Where he's talking all this shit. Oh, yeah, I was on my way to finishing him. Well, dude, you should have finished him a long time ago. You know, so in that area, I can see the conflict between MMA and boxing, as far as like in the fight aspect and in the popularity aspect. Now, what Dana White is doing is Dana White is basically contradicting himself, and Dana White is basically sold out, because I remember a time where Dana White was like, oh no, we're not going to bring no bullshit over here, you know, this is the real deal, we're legit, and this and that. And now you're getting people like Kimbo Slice over there, you know, Brock Lesnar, even though Brock Lesnar panned out and is doing very well, but it's still, you know what I mean, it's like Brock Lesnar, then you bring the James Tonys over there, you know what I mean, you might as well sign pussy ass Bobby Lashley or somebody like that too, because, you know, it's getting to a point where you guys are just trying to reel in the ratings. And I feel that, you know, of course, who wouldn't want good ratings? Who wouldn't want fabulous pay-per-view numbers? But I feel that, you know, of course, Dana wants the boxing numbers. Dana wants the Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao numbers. And he's trying to do whatever he can do to make that happen. James Toney, you know, I don't hold nothing against James Toney. You know, a man got to make his money. You know, it doesn't make any difference to me the way a man makes his living. You know what I mean? As long as it's somewhat, you know, honorable or something like that. But I can't hate on James Toney for going over there and doing his thing. What I can say is that I hate the flip-flop shit you're doing, James. I mean, one minute you're saying, oh, yeah, it's not about boxing or MMA. It's about me and Randy. Then all of a sudden you're saying, oh, a boxer can conquer MMA. Or, oh, this and that, this and that. You know, it's bullshit, and I'm tired of the gimmicks, man. I'm really tired of the gimmicks. You know, that's it, man. You know, that's what I have to say about that. You know, it's like, Dana, stick to the script, man. Either you're gonna, you know, there was a time that I admired you and said this guy's a stand-up guy, but over the past couple of years, man, I've seen that you've sold out, got a little commercial, which, you know, I guess is only inevitable. You know, just like that good band or that good group, you know, that their first maybe 1 or 2 albums are the shit, and then, you know, they get a taste of that cash, and then, you know, they totally go a different direction. You know, hey Metallica, I see you guys, that, you know what I mean by that. So anyway, it's like, you know, if you're gonna be real, man, be real. And that's what I respected about UFC, about MMA, man. You know what I mean? It was like no ducking, no dodging. This guy goes in here and fights the best guy. Now it's like you're trying to not just pull in the faithful, but you're trying to also pull in the commercial. You know what I mean? The mainstream people. You know, which I understand, man, because you gotta try to make this money, but it's like, don't do it so blatantly, man. You know, first thing you see in that damn new gay ass UFC commercial with fucking Frankie Edgar talking about, they said I wouldn't beat you, and then I did. Like, what, man? I don't give a shit about that, man. Quit talking all fucking weak, man. You know what I mean? No, Frankie Edgar, you know they wrote you a script for that shit. And then they talking about UFC versus boxing. Nah, man. You know what? You're trying to take a chance. You're trying to take a jab at boxing, Dana. That's what you're trying to do. Even though you get up there and say you love boxing, you're a big boxing fan. Although there was one press conference where you couldn't even name Juan Manuel Marquez. You didn't even know who he was. But you're a big boxing fan or whatever. So anyway, you're coming up with this UFC versus boxing gimmick ad ploy, and it's bullshit, man. I take offense to it, and I'm sure a lot of boxing fans and mixed martial arts fans, for that matter, take offense to it. You know, that's just how I feel about it, man. So you know what I mean? Just quit with the bullshit. Let's keep it real out here. You know, let's keep them up. Let's keep the gloves up. You know what I mean? No low blows around here and shit, man. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you know. So if Couture wins, which is a high probability, since Couture is a big time wrestler, you know, a well seasoned wrestler and a well seasoned mixed martial artist, going in here against hey, he's a champion boxer, and I'm not taking anything away from Tony, but Tony, you know, I don't feel that your short amount of time of mixed martial arts training is going to trump Randy's years and years of pedigree. Now, don't get me wrong. Randy's chin has looked suspect lately. You can go in there and catch Randy catch him flush and knock Randy to the canvas, and Randy could be out. But logically, Randy should not lose that fight. Randy should be able to wrestle you down, control you on the ground, and win. You know what I mean? So, and that's what Dana knows too. So, the whole boxing versus UFC thing is kind of like played out, man. I mean, it's not even played. It's just bullshit. That's what it is, man. So, you know, let's kind of like, you know, Dana, I know you're not listening. You know, I know you don't give a shit. But like I said, you're trying to get those 1.5 million pay-per-view buy numbers. You know what I mean? But you know, let's not be so blatant about all this bullshit. You know what I mean? And I don't. And another thing, I don't care if you're thinking about it. I don't ever want to see Chuck Liddell in the octagon again. You know, this guy has lost, like, he's totally fell from grace. You know, and he's making himself look kind of bad now, making himself look weak. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see no more former WWE stars in UFC, you know, and cancel the motherfucking Ultimate Fighter, man. Because I'm tired of seeing that bullshit, melodramatic shit where grown-ass men in there arguing, and I hate reality shows anyway. And I don't want to see a mixed martial arts reality show. You know, I know, well, you don't have to watch it, Invincible Armor. You're damn right, but for the fact that it's out there, you know, is offensive to me. And I'm tired of having to go through a whole season of that shit before I get to see a good fight that I want to see, you know? So that's what I have to say about that. And like I said, man, I had a few sips of this right here. Yeah, it's got ice on it. It was in the freezer. It's okay. You know what I mean? That's how we do in Texas. And I'm holding it down, man. And that was my statement about the UFC versus boxing, quote unquote, whatever you want to call it. You know, I'll come back later with a prediction, or not even a prediction. Scratch that, because to tell you the truth, I don't even want to predict MMA anymore because that shit is so damn unpredictable. Only a fool will put down his rent money on some damn mixed martial arts, man. Straight up. This is the Invincible Armor. Peace.